Hey, what's going on, friends? I hope you're having an amazing day. This is Paul Hutchings coming to you with episode, I think, 103 of The Good Parts. The Good Parts is a daily social media show where I go live Monday through Friday, right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes a little earlier, most of the times a little later, to share ideas in an effort to help myself and as many people as I can create more freedom, prosperity, happiness, joy, abundance, goodness, all the good things that life has to offer. And today I'm going to be talking briefly about how to create content that you're not ashamed of, and instead how to create content that you're proud of. And if you're joining me live or on the replay, if you could do me a favor and comment below, especially let me know if you can hear my audio. I would really appreciate it because my phone is somehow connected to my car, and I couldn't figure out how to get the StreamYard to pick up my phone audio. And instead, I think it's picking up my audio through my car. So is the audio coming through okay? Comment below. Please let me know if it is. That would help me a lot. Loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I was talking to a friend this morning, as I wrote in the description, and she was telling me how she knows she wants to start making videos for her business, for her home business. And she made the comment that she said, I've got people that I go to church with that are connected to me on social media. And the impression that I got, I'm not 100% sure if this was her impression or not, but the impression that I got was that there was a little bit of hesitancy in that, how do I create content in a way where one, it will benefit my business, but then also two, in a way where people who know me in my local, place where I live, I've got people that are on my Facebook that I go to church with. I've got people that are connected to me on Facebook that know me from the school my kids go to. I'm a school board member, and so I definitely don't want to. I don't want to create content that makes people look at me in not a great light. And I've got, my kids, they've got friends, and some of their parents are connected to me here on Facebook. So I totally understand, how can you create content that helps your business, but also makes it so when these other people that know us find our content, we won't be ashamed of it, and that we'll be proud of the content that we're creating. And so what I want to do, and I want to ask, like, if for those of you who are watching either live or on the replay, have you had this same concern or question? If you've ever started a home-based business and you want to create content, has that been something that has kind of held you back a little bit? I know it did for me in the beginning, and I've been building a business from home now for almost 2 decades. So thankfully, I've figured out some ways to overcome this and create the content that I need to create. So I want to share with you my couple of my best ideas on this. So number one, I think that one of the biggest things that turns people off, and this goes with content creation, and it also goes with one-on-one conversations that you might be having with people. The biggest turnoff is that if people feel like you're just trying to get something from them, that's a little bit of a turnoff. So if they feel like you're making videos only because you want to get their money, that's not good. And if people that you're connecting with one-on-one feel like the only reason you're connecting with them is because you want to get their money, that's also not good. And I've noticed this in people that start a home-based business and that start creating content and start connecting and giving invitations, is that some people have a really difficult time talking about anything other than their business, So all of their content sometimes seems to come off as the only reason they're creating content is to get a sale. One example of this is just always talking about your product or your business and how amazing it is and how much better it is than everything else. And that's probably not the best thing to do if you want to create content that A, people find value in, and B, the content that you can be proud of. And I want to give you a metaphor for this. So if you can imagine a pie, with a bunch of little slices, and then if you can imagine we split this pie up into like a 95% of the pie and then 5% of the pie. what a lot of people sometimes do is they spend the 95% talking about their agenda and the thing that they're trying to promote, and then maybe only 5% talking about actual valuable ideas that could help anyone who tunes into the content. And what I think you want to do, and what I've strived to do, is flip that around so that when you create content, 95% of what you create is valuable, meaning you share something that can be valuable for anybody that tunes in. And then 5% of your content can be, talking about your business, or inviting people to take a look at your business, or whatever it is that you're bringing to market. And so if you do this, what happens is when people who know you find your videos, and I'll give you a couple examples. So my stepdad told me the other day when I was visiting with him, he said, I watch your lives sometimes. And he said, I don't know how you stay so excited and full of energy, you know? And so why would my stepdad be watching my videos every once in a while? If I got on a video and I was like, jobs are dumb. You need to join my business. It's the only way. You gotta go out there and get rich on the internet. Like, if that's all I was saying, he probably would not ever tune into these. But one reason he tunes in is he says, I've got good energy and I'm excited, and maybe he likes that. I was talking to my son the other day, and he told me that his friend's mom tuned into one of my lives, and she was watching, and she is not in a home-based business. She's a local realtor here in our hometown. And my friend said that she laughed at my video because it was a video where I was showing my new license plates. And when I pulled the license plate out, it turned out that it wasn't the license plate I thought it was. I'd ordered these personal license plates. So I did this big build up like, oh, these are going to be so cool. Then I pull it out. It's like, wrong license plate. And she thought that was funny, and she was tuning into that. So the idea, though, is that you want to share ideas that people can find value in, whether they're joining your business or not, whether they're buying your products or not, whether they're in the home business profession or not. I know a lot of training that I've received over the years says that you got to pick a target market and you got to focus 100% on that target market. And one thing that I've noticed about doing that is yes, it does work, to hone in on a target market, especially if you know that target market has a problem, and to speak to that problem and to speak to that market, that does work. However, I don't think that's the only thing that works for creating content and attracting people and building an audience. I think what it really boils down to is what Jim Rohn said. He said, you get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. So the question is, can you share valuable ideas in the content that you create? Whether it's 100% niche focused or not, can you share ideas that people will find value in if they decide to watch your videos? So if you've got people you're connected to that aren't in a home-based business, the number one thing to realize is that people don't have to watch your videos. And if they see a video you've created and it doesn't appeal to them, they'll just scroll right by it. So no big deal. And then the second thing on that is, can you share ideas that people will find value in? Of course, as I mentioned. And so a couple directions that you can maybe point your mind in looking for valuable ideas. Can you look in your life and find an idea that is beneficial to you, that relates to health, that relates to wealth, that relates to wisdom? I think these are three general broad categories that most people can find value in. And on the wealth topic, so here's another thing that I think sometimes people do or think they need to do that can be a turnoff. If you're getting on a live every day or making a video every day and you're talking about wealth, let's say that's your topic, and all you're talking about is how much money everyone in your company is making, how much money you're making, why everyone wants to go out and make a lot of money, that I think can be a turnoff. And so when I say wealth, like, here's another spin on the wealth topic, is if your topic for the day is in the wealth category, rather than showing income screenshots or talking about how great you are, how great other people are, what if you could share a wealth principle? wealth principle, where anyone who tuned in could get value from that idea. And I'll give you one example. So I've got a friend down in Texas who's a successful entrepreneur, and he's a great friend of mine. His name's Joe. And I remember I was talking to Joe one time, and by the way, Joe's very financially successful, and he's got a great heart. He's just a really, really good guy. And he gave me a phrase one day. He said, "All hat and no cattle." He said, "Down in Texas, we got this phrase, all hat, no cattle." And what does that mean? All hat, no cattle is meant to help illustrate the idea that sometimes there are people who like to wear a big fancy hat, and in the category of wealth, that would equate to, look at my fancy car, look at my nice big house, look at all this stuff that I have. And a lot of these people, they might have purchased all of those things with debt. And so if someone goes in debt a whole lot to buy all this nice stuff to give the impression that they are wealthy, when in actuality they have a very low net worth or even a negative net worth because they're in debt, that is all hat, no cattle. and that's a great idea. There's a book that I really like. It's called what is it called? The Millionaire. Let's see, Thomas Stanley and William Danko. The Millionaire something. Dang it, I can't remember the title of the book. The Millionaire Next Door. That's what it's called. The Millionaire Next Door. And in The Millionaire Next Door, Thomas Stanley and William Danko, what they did is they said, we want to study millionaires. Like, what do they look like? What do they do? Where are they located? And one of the things that I remember from that book is when they started this study, they said to themselves, okay, we got to find millionaires, number one. So where are we going to find them? And they went to the nicest neighborhood with the biggest, fanciest houses, thinking they were going to find millionaires. And what they found when they started connecting with some of these people that were in these neighborhoods is that most of the people that lived in these ostentatious neighborhoods actually did not have very much wealth. In other words, they were all hat, no cattle. They were showing their big houses, but they were using debt to buy these big houses, and they actually didn't have much real wealth. So they had to look in other places to find these millionaires. And what they found about these millionaires is typically they weren't the ones that were putting on a big show and living in the biggest, fanciest house. And so that's an idea in the category of wealth that you could share in a video that anyone who watched the video could get value from. And it's a way to talk about wealth in a way that feels good. And I think it feels good because what you're doing is you're teaching wealth principles rather than showing wealth and kind of like bragging about it and flashing screenshots, so on and so forth. And so if you talk about wealth in that way on your videos by teaching a principle, then anyone who tunes in can get value from that. Hey, good morning, Bill Rizlov. How you doing today? Happy Labor Day. So that's a way you can create content in a way that feels good. So you got wealth is a good direction. Health is a good direction. Most people want to be more healthy. They want to live longer. So you can teach something, that's related to health. And then, you can teach something that's related to wisdom. And it could be as simple as reading something in a book that you find inspiring or enlightening, and then clicking live on your phone and just sharing that idea. Hey guys, I just read this cool idea in this book. I wanted to share it. I wanted to pass it along, and then share that idea. So many ideas you can share in the category of wisdom. Wisdom is everywhere. I'll give you one. One of my favorite quotes that relates to wisdom. Jim Rohn said, "The greatest value in life is not what you get. That's not the greatest value. The greatest value in life is what you become." And see, most people could get value from that idea, whether they're in a home business or not, looking to join a home business or not. If any one of my friends that's connected to me here locally on the street happens to run across me and say, "Hey, Paul, I saw your video." I'm not going to be ashamed of that. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. I'm going to be proud of that because I'm doing the best that I can to pass along good ideas. So this is Bill says, doing great. Awesome to hear, Bill. And he says, love that. I love it too. It works, So that's what I wanted to pass along today. You can create content and be successful in creating content in a way that feels good to your heart, in a way that attracts people, and in a way where people that you know, when they find your content, they're not going to be turned off by it. They will be turned off if all you ever do is talk about your business and your products and how amazing it is. But in other words, if all you're doing is selling, 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 and if we back up from that idea a little bit and look underneath, what is really happening is you're creating content from a intention to get from people rather than to give. So I think that's the switch you want to flip, is create your content in a way where your desire is to shine a light and to share something valuable for anyone that happens to tune into your content. And if people feel like they're receiving something, and if they feel like your goal is to give them something, there's no way that anyone could ever be turned off by that content. And then to kind of wrap it, all around to the end, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the content creation pie, 95% give. Like I've tried to do in today's video, I've tried to give you some ideas that have been very helpful and profitable for me. And now that we're at the end of the video, I'm going to get to that 5% part, which is where you ask for something. And it's even better if when you ask for something, you're still giving, right? You're still giving. So what does that look like? I'm Paul Hutchings. I do these lives every day, Monday through Friday. If you got value from this episode, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to me on social media. And or if you want more value from me, I have some cool free gifts to give you. And what are those cool free gifts? I'm going to pop the website up on the screen here. Let's see if I can find it right here. See my website, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS, where if you go to that website, I have some very cool gifts. I've got 7 marketing and lead generation training videos that I've created that have some really good ideas that have helped me a lot in marketing and being successful in my business. I've got a little PDF I created called Lighthouses for the Soul. That's a collection of all my favorite quotes that I've picked up over the years that have helped to inspire me in my life and still help to inspire me. I've got a business on that page. So if you're in a space where you'd like to grow residual income, or grow freedom, build a residual income where you can potentially disconnect your time from your money. The way that worked for me was I was in a job I didn't love. I felt like it was crushing my soul. And so I started a business from home that gave me the opportunity to grow residual income to where now I don't have to have a job and I can do the things that I want to do in life. And that's been a big blessing to me. So if that's something that appeals to you, there's a button on that page that says grow residual income. You can take a peek at that if it's something that is up your alley. And if it's not, that's okay. And see, that's another thing you can do when you create content and give calls to action in a way that doesn't turn people off, is you always want to present your invitations in such a way that it's okay if you do, it's okay if you don't. If you don't check that out, if it's not for you, I still love you. I'm still thankful that you're tuning into my content. I still want to add value to your life. And that creates a space where people, again, feel like your only intention is not trying to get something from them, but rather give to them. So that's another tip for creating content that you're not ashamed of. When you give your calls to action, don't make them like hardcore, like if you don't go to my website and click that button, your life is going to be terrible and you're going to be broke forever. Like, no, I mean, if you want to offend people and ruin relationships, yeah, do your calls to action like that, but if you want to maintain good relationships, you just list the benefit as to why someone might want to go check that out. And if they do, great. And if they don't, great. Either way is fantastic because I'm here and you're here with your videos, not just to get stuff from people. We're here to give, right? We're here to give. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I hope they've been valuable to you today. And I'm going to check the comments. What do you guys think? Can you see yourself creating content like this? Can you see yourself creating content in a way where it feels good to your heart? Where you're getting your face out there, you're getting your voice out there, you're adding value to the world, you're letting your light shine, and in the process, you're attracting some people to your business and to your products, so on and so forth. Bill Rizlov says, I do. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I guess this video was a success. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I love and appreciate all of you. I hope you get out there, take action, go for your dreams, enjoy your Labor Day. And shout out to all the people who work in the world. I looked up on the internet this morning, what does Labor Day mean and why do we celebrate it here in America anyway? And it said that Labor Day was instituted as a way to celebrate all of the contributions that workers in America have made to the advancement of society and to the advancement of the economic condition. And I'm one who believes that all honest, ethical work has value. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're showing up and putting in a good, honest, ethical day's work, I think that's something to be very, very proud of. And so shout out to you if you're in that category. And if you're not, get to work, get to work. One of my favorite quotes from Shenandoah says, if we don't try, then we don't do. And if we don't do, then why are we here? I think doing and working and getting stuff done is a big reason that we're on this planet. So, all right, I'm going to stop rambling. Have a good one, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.